Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Mandragon's Cave. Today we are gonna be talking about One Piece 1166, analyzing it a little bit while drawing Shanks' baby. Okay, Shanks being a baby in this episode. A lot of spoilers are gonna happen. I'm gonna be talking about the latest manga chapter in One Piece, and if you decide to stay, basically maybe you watched it already, you read it already, or you wanna just sit here with me. The Shanks is found in the chest. This is something that we have been waiting for 30 years, and it happened right now. It is very important moment, very classic moment. This is a very confusing moment as well, because in the past we have seen this image already. There was some fan art around, very nicely done in Oda's style fan art, that everyone thought it was real, and there was some sketches as well and some drawings as well of this for the Red Movie volume, where there is like an initial concept of this moment is pretty similar, the page that we have. So I'm gonna try to draw him while talking about everything a little bit. So the title of the chapter is New Tales or New Paths or New Stories, depending on the translation, and I think it's fitting if we draw Shanks, because it's his beginning. Okay, it is a little bit younger than Blackbeard. We've done already baby Blackbeard as well. I'm gonna put the theory here so you can see some ideas I have regarding fruits and him. But this chapter I think is very emotional, very frustrating, and for me it felt long. It felt many things at the same time. I have to say some of our theories were right regarding the finishing of the flashback. The flashback is not finished as such, but there is halfway through the episode, there is like a transition from black to gray to black, like the flashback is jumping in time in a couple of moments, and the God Valley concept is finished. So as I said, we could have two paths. One, we continue Good Valley, we see the end of the story, what's gonna happen with all of the characters, or we jump into the future and we see everything through Garp's memories. Those things can still happen. I don't think we are gonna stay in flashback more than 1 or 2 episodes. Maybe Eiichiro Oda wants to wrap it in a round number by 1170. That is a quite likely scenario, just to close some things, or by the time that we are finishing the 69 and going into the 70, we are jumping into this present time. Okay, present time with Loki finishing the story, talking to Jarondine, talking to Luffy, and then starting doing some movement in real time, in the present time. Okay, so very interesting. First of all, before we start page by page, the cover for the Shonen Jump for this volume, for this chapter, is Luffy on the right hand side, and then we have Rocks, Roger and Garp on the left hand side, okay, on a close-up panel drawing of the faces. I have a theory that I made months ago, when everything about Rocks started to come to us, saying that Rocks was gonna have half of the hair blue. I'm gonna put it here. I still think Buggy is connected to him. I still think Buggy may be his son as well, maybe from another mother, okay? Maybe not from the one that we have seen now in the flashback. Maybe it's a child that was safe, but I was expecting the drawing, okay, the blacks in the drawing to be black, and the whites in the drawing to be blue. Oda has done it the other way around, so we have Rocks having white and blue hair. Okay, it's a purplish type of blue, but it comes to the blue. In that video I explained everything about this. I just want to make emphasis in this just one moment because I think it's pretty important for development of the story and for the concept story of Buggy as well. So we have these scars that everyone thought there were scars on Roxy's face. I mentioned in that video that these were gonna be some sort of makeup, some sort of decoration, like Buggy has always a drawing on his face, like a skull, the lines, the X, multiple things. And this came to happen. The symbols, these kind of thunder-like symbols, look like a purple as well paint on the face paint, and I knew that he was gonna have this clownish aspect of character. I invite you to check that theory again and come back here and or in that same theory express your opinion and tell me what do you think about that development. So because of those reasons I'm giving you, if it can be or it cannot be. I do not think that Oda is gonna just make a nice pretty story with background and interesting background for Shanks that we're drawing today, for Blackbeard, for Luffy, for Dragon, for everyone, and leave Buggy outside. Buggy, he is not a main character, the main character is Buggy, but he is one of the main characters, and we are gonna be stuck with him until the very end of the story. He is gonna be ending up being king of the world. I explain in this theory here as well that I made at the very beginning of starting this channel, like 2 years ago or something like that. I still think that by chance he will become the king of the world. And there is as well this moment at the beginning of One Piece where he's fighting Luffy for the first time. And when Luffy tells him that Luffy is gonna be the king of the pirates, he's joking that if he's gonna be a god. The position of the gods at the moment are held by the Tenryubitos, by the Gorosei, by Imu and everything. So him sitting in the throne by chance, like Usopp fell on top of Carlos in Carlos or his father, I don't remember now, but Usopp fell on top of a Tenryubito in the auction house in Shabondi Archipelago. So if something like that happens, it will not surprise us. Okay, we already know that Buggy is gonna be doing great things, and he has been doing already great things. Just see his trajectory and expect, as I say in that video, expect Buggy to have a very interesting past. Okay, very, very interesting past, even tied to, the D's, even tied to 900 years ago, even tied to Lily, to everyone. I think there are theories as well out there suggesting that he may be tied to the Arabasta bloodline, the original bloodline, not Bibi's. Bibi is not descendant directly from Lily. Lily had a brother, and because Lily disappeared in this transition, okay, and then the brother took over, and Bibi is descendant of this brother, okay. So if Buggy ends up being descendant of the actual supposed to be ruler Lily, that could be game as well. There's a lot of reasons for that I've seen online as well and everything, but we can talk about that in another episode. Okay, let's focus in the episode for today and what happened in the end of God Valley. Okay, so very nice cover today, color autumn, with some tanukis around, with some foxes around, ninja style. All of them are eating, I think it is sweet potato, and I think I want to do more drawings like this for myself as well, like with my own characters, like things are interacting, things are happening in the frame, let's say, in the page, multiple things at the same time. This I think is one of my probably favorite covers. Even if you don't have all of the Straw Hats there, it is very very nice. So let's actually continue drawing. Obviously I'm gonna define everything more with the pen regarding hair and things. This is just a guide for me to see where the hair is falling and the head is being and everything, okay. But we are gonna draw him here with some of the pearls and gold and things that he has around, just trying to do the drawing that we have in the image, okay, like this, okay, something like this. As well, feel free to ask any kind of One Piece question, any kind of drawing question, any kind of episode related question as well. Suggest if you want to see a character maybe drawn, your favorite character that I haven't drawn yet. I was thinking about drawing Roger today, drawing Shanks today, drawing Sengoku today, but I think Shanks is the main for me, the main focus of the title and the one that can be relevant to draw, okay? But feel free to suggest any other character that you may want to see here in the channel, okay? So we start the episode and the battle of the three monsters is over. We see Rox is conscious, Rox is alive, he is thinking if about the course that he has, this kind of Domi Reversi power is lifted. It is lifted. There is, I think, like a sense of power in this drawing, a lot of power in this drawing, regarding how with Haki, these two guys, Garp and Roger especially, these two guys have surpassed probably Imu's Domi Reversi. They have kicked out Imu, like when we're in Lord of the Rings and we have Gandalf, throwing out of Theoden the spirit, let's say, of Saruman, okay? And then Theoden rejuvenizes, gets younger. I see this in the same light when the attack that they've done together were able to disperse the darkness, throw the darkness away, but how is such a consuming type of power, and it is bad, it's darkness basically. I think obviously Rox is here feeling like Luffy after I said it in the previous episode, and I suggested this was gonna happen, feeling like when Luffy fought Ruchi that he couldn't move. That is very, very nice. This Oda is trying to showcase how some characters are able to die, in an epic death, like Whitebeard, okay, very kind of cinematography idea, and other characters that we expect or we think that they may end up being in a similar situation, they end up just killed by some random later, and the kind of final glory, it wasn't allowed for that character. That is very real, because it doesn't mean because you are a good person you are gonna have the best of the futures. It doesn't mean because you are this. So everyone in real life has his own difficulties or her own difficulties, and this is a very interesting portrayal of that kind of reality, okay, the real life basically. I want to know your opinion as well about this, if you were expecting him to be defeated in another way or defeated by someone else. I had this strong theory about King Harald, as Domi Reversi is gonna show up here and King Harald is gonna clash with him. Oda didn't go for that, surprisingly. King Harald is later in the episode showing up, and I don't know exactly, I will talk about it at the end, but I don't know exactly why you wouldn't make these two characters to see each other again at the very end, okay? Did I like it? I liked it, but I could have preferred this Harald moment better. In fact, because this is something that I say every episode, is a flashback told by Loki. Even if later as well we have a little bit of Loki here, it's a little bit clashing for me. I think maybe Oda is trying to do this and give us a lot of information, but I would have done it in a different way, okay? So the drawing here is progressing quite nice. Most of the image reference, okay, of Shanks is covered with gold, with things. I don't want to draw everything, but I'm not gonna leave only just the character maybe. So let's do the hands, big hands like this, trying to reach our Roger pirates. Okay, he's very happy to be here, and we can make some. There is like a pearl type of collar there. We're gonna make these kind of gold coins randomly, gold coins here and there. Okay, I don't want to do the whole thing either. Like this. Okay, like we are inside the chest. Okay, and in a moment I'm gonna start already with the fine line. Okay, so Roger is on one side, completely defeated. Garp is in another side, completely defeated. I thought, and I would have liked here, because Roger's had that nice speech in the previous one, I would have liked that because his display of energy, like his outburst of energy, I was suspecting that maybe this is because he gets sick, and maybe that's gonna make him grow older faster, maybe. And this is maybe because the mustache, in a kind of comic way, could have bloop come out of his face, like blooming very fast, like ooh, I just aged suddenly by doing this attack. It could have been interesting, but it didn't happen. And we don't see a mustache Roger here, but it is interesting. So Rox is opening the eyes, is looking at these silhouettes coming towards him. He wants to escape. Okay, he considers that his job is done. He wants to escape, but these three monsters are coming towards him, three of the God's Knights, Garling in the middle, and they are just gonna execute him, basically. They just pull the sword, Garling executes him. Garling has proven to be one of the most disgusting characters in One Piece that I ever seen. Like, that is something that... I'm gonna change this one to the other one, maybe this, let me see this one. That is something that only a few characters achieve, like Spandam, Carlos, for example, and it is cruel. It is cruel. This is a representation of how some guys sometimes end up. I'm gonna use the 04 this time. Some guys sometimes just are for the opportunity. They are just gonna be taking an opportunity, like Blackbeard did to get the Gura Gura no Mi, the white beard fruit. The opportunist basically is called that, and not very nice at all. So he is kind of praying, Garp, Roger, escape, get out of here, because they're gonna kill us all. And they actually head over there and they stab Rocks while he is kind of thanking them for being able to stop his fury, his rampage, his attack. He could have destroyed everything. I told you many times, he is so far, together with Harald, the strongest character in the whole One Piece. Rocks and Harald, I think, are equal in power, and that is basically almost impossible to stop. So, as predicted in my previous analysis, Rayleigh and Gaban have arrived where this happened, probably just after Garling disappeared. Maybe they even took the body, we don't know. But the thing is, these two guys are rescuing, they are taking the fighters, Roger and Garp. We knew these guys were coming back for that. It is something that I think, in my opinion, was quite obvious for everyone, that these two were gonna be cleaning up afterwards and taking the bosses out. I expected as well, just for the sake of seeing him, Bogart taking Garp, and I said Rayleigh and Gaban are gonna take both of them, and maybe halfway through Bogart is gonna show up and they will give Garp to Bogart. We don't see that those specifics. For the world building concept, I would have loved to see that. Like, even if they are enemies, and I put the example the other day of Zoro rescuing Smoker in Arabasta because his boss, his captain, Luffy, said so. And Smoker asks, why are you saving me, Pirate Hunter? And he's like, well, captain's order. That's always a really nice type of moment in any story, okay? When the enemies or when the rivals become friendly for a moment, just to fight a common enemy or just to save each other, and then they can fight a common enemy and things like this. And I find it very interesting for me. It's very appealing for me as for character development, okay? So these two guys are running. Both of them are asking their colleagues, where is Rox? What happened to him? And they reveal that he's just been eliminated. Basically, he's been killed. And probably they seen it from the distance. They, remember that these guys have such a strong haki that they can feel the presence of people, like we see when Luffy is training with Rayleigh, that they are able to say, oh, there are X amount of animals in this island, and X amount are stronger than the other one. So they are able to see, with their power, if someone is alive, is dead, or no, okay, and if how many of them are around as well. So that is useful. So maybe they didn't actually see him as such, but this was something that they share with them. So the island, the whole island, is sinking, crumbling, being destroyed, being sucked into the ground, being sucked into the ocean. Pretty similar design like when Mother Flame Uranus is shot and the island is eradicated. Pretty similar as well to Buster Call. They give the hint to the island being destroyed by Buster Call. As well, the island is being destroyed because the attacks that they have thrown are crazy, all of them, and everything is sinking, obviously. All the ships, you can see all the tiny ships escaping there, and saying that basically this is going to be erased from history. Then we have this interesting image where, is commenting that the island is wrapped in this kind of mist, clouds, and everything. This is a comparison for modern times, for a modern times concept in One Piece of the thriller bark. Everyone has been talking, and I think it is very true, that this island became later on thriller bark, okay? And with this, like this kind of clouds or mist or kind of atmosphere surrounded the island, while you still can see some of the mountains and things in the background of the drawing, is kind of giving us the clue that yes, because of these attacks, because of this destroying of the city, of the island, this has kind of become like a ghostly space, let's say, okay, like the Bermuda Triangle, let's say, because the thriller bark arc has this kind of air of Bermuda Triangle, when ships are disappearing, magical things, mystical things are happening. So I think this is the beginning of the legend in that aspect as well, okay? So the heavens are splitting in half, and thunder-like type of crumbling, like haki, is falling as a sign. A lot of drawings of main characters are around this main concept, like these guys are the future. Some of them are the Yonkos, the Pirate King, the boss of the Marines, the Revolutionaries, Blackbeard, Shanks. So all the key players, Kuma is there as well, all the key players nowadays are there. So I think this kind of thunder, this kind of lightning is trying to represent, when we have black lightning, this is Conqueror's Haki. White lightning in this aspect, with nature references coming from the heavens, coming as a light. I think this is the will of D. I think this is the will of Joy Boy, the Sun God, and all the storyline that we are having with Luffy and with the Nika fruit, with the Nika concept. I think this is the, let's say, this God in One Piece, this Sun God in One Piece, approving that now the game starts, the story starts, and these are the main players at the moment. Okay, more players can join later, like Luffy, Zoro, etc. But these are the main players now. Okay, this is my opinion, this is my representation. Maybe someone is having another interpretation of this, but for me I find this very representing and very poetic in that sense. Okay, so now we jump a scene. We are in Roger's ship. Okay, and they are talking about, oh, is he coming out? He's not coming out because he is unwell. He has this attack has damaged him. Probably they are not insinuating yet that he has this illness or anything, but we know that he has. So when he comes out, as I said, he looks like Ace nowadays. He's not drawn as Roger anymore. He's just Ace, but aged. And we can see here how his face has already a little bit of hair. Like, we are going into the mustache Roger soon already. And I would have liked this in this scene for him to come already with a mustache, not to represent the pass of time, if this is maybe 1 day or 2 days later, but to represent the weakness and the faster aging. We don't know the sickness yet, and it is very interesting. I wanna know what's gonna happen with that. Okay, so let's do all of these kind of pearls here. Okay, I don't wanna do a lot. I want to do only a few, and maybe just add a little bit of yellow around it, like a little bit of color, and that's it. Because to draw something like Treasure that I've done in the past, we could be hours and hours here and never finish the drawing, you know. But I think for the time being, for what we want to talk today, this is gonna be more than enough. So Gloriosa is very cute there at the back, you know, very happy, and some of the colleagues very happy that he's well. Some of the guys are asking him, you know, and he was surprised that they were actually worried about him. It is very nice, a very comedy kind of moment. We see that, he sees that, you know, Shaki has been saved. She's okay with Rayleigh there, and that all of the guys are telling him we have a bunch of treasure here. And then we have this moment where they hear something in one of the chests, and they realized there is a baby. They open the chest, and Shanks is there. So this image is the one that I told you at the beginning. It has been drawn, you know, as a fan art, as a sketch, in multiple occasions, and it is pretty similar to what is being drawn by the community or even by Oda himself, but slightly different, because Roger doesn't have mustache, the characters have changed and everything, but very nice. It had to happen like this. You need to have these different type of panels when you are looking into something, like in this case a chest. So we have from above, and then from underneath as well, those images showing the baby as well. So very interesting. So the new tales, the new beginnings, is all of the characters on the side of that bigger drawing, plus Shanks now. Okay, now we jump into another part of the world where the news are spreading about rocks being defeated and rocks being killed basically, and the rock pirates being disbanded as well. Okay, everyone is very happy, everyone is celebrating Garp the hero. Garp the hero, we know he's like kind of a good guy in the sense of he's trying to be a good guy, but he works for bad guys. We know he is a hero because he's very strong, and everyone depends on him, and you know, he has a lot of importance in the Marines. But the title of hero was given to him for something that he did not do, or at least he did not do on his own, because it was an alliance with Roger and a problem with rocks, and everything was a made-up story. Morgans, a very young Morgans at this time, is the one that is managing the newspaper already, is the one who is tampering the information. This is something that Garp can't tolerate. He's very upset about it. We see young Sengoku with him talking and everything, and he says to Garp something that we know, but maybe in the fury, in the upsetness of the moment, Garp is not able to realize. Is basically, yeah, this has been a very important clash, a very important problem, let's say, for everyone, and they are not gonna just leave it there and for everyone to know. They are gonna modify the story, they are gonna modify the information to look good, okay? Because they lost an island, they lost these kind of games, they lost a lot of treasure, they lost a lot of Akuma Nomis that they were there and everything. The whole government here had a blunder there, okay? So lately, we have been seeing the Gurusei a lot, we have been seeing especially Saturn a lot, and I said it once I was drawing him, and I said it as well in multiple occasions afterwards, analyzing episodes. Saturn has been a very bad character, a very bad player in the sense of every single thing that he has done, it's end up failing. So far. He managed to do all the Boni past and everything and experiments, yes, but that was years before. But all the attacks that he's been thrown, in flashbacks, in Egghead, in here now, in God Valley, everything, every single one of them has failed. Every single one of them has been a mess. And now I understand more and more why Imu did what she did in Elbaf. In Egghead, okay? As a lesson. This is a lesson for the rest of the Gurusei, saying, look, I'm the boss here, and I can understand that you fail once or you fail twice, because thinking that Imu has some sort of sense, no? They're saying, we can fail one or twice, but all the time we can't fail. So that's why the shift and the replacement and everything, okay? So there is a very big argument there. Garp and Sengoku. Sengoku is explaining all these things, all these modifications by the government, and then we see how Sengoku understands the game in the meaning of, even if I know, or even if I see that they are doing bad things, I will just not do anything. I will just ignore it, like they are not doing anything. Kind of, I will allow this darkness to happen, in the sense of he wants to fight it in a correct way, no? Garp gets obviously very upset because of this. He's kind of shouting at him that if he, by any chance, becomes corrupted or a bad guy, he will kill him, basically. He will kill him. And I believe Garp 100% feelings that he's having there, 100%. And I like this contradiction. He's, very important sentence that we have heard from Vegapunk in Elbaf, saying not everyone is good and not everyone is bad. So we are seeing now the supposed to be demon Rox was just a loving father and a loving husband, and the supposed to be good Sengoku is able to turn, the back on the darkness and do things like this. And it is important to see what's happening here with these two guys, okay? Because they become friends, they are friends, and they continue being friends after this conversation. We've seen them in the present, eating crackers, talking about this, helping each other, supporting each other. So they say it, so Sengoku says it, that he's happy to have him as a best friend. It is very important to know, that whatever Garp is going to be doing at any time, Sengoku is connected. And Suru. These three guys, that there are the top tiers basically in the Marines, to be honest, these three guys are the remnants of the older generations, are the step in between trying to fix something and fixing and not fixing something, okay? These are the guys who says, there is a problem, I don't know how to fix it, but I'm gonna stay here in my place and try to fix it from the inside. And this obviously fails, because nowadays we see how everything is failed. And now you have the next generation, that is Dragon, that is gonna try to fix the problem from the outside, attacking the problem. And then you have Luffy afterwards that is gonna not care about the problem and is gonna fix everything. Okay, so there are different stages, and you can see this as well with generational trauma, for example, in families, or maybe your parents are worried about this and they cascade these problems in you, but you want to change that because you learn about some things and you want to change, and but you are not able to change fully. But maybe your kids are able to change fully, or your little brother is able to change better than you. So this is something that it is very real, I will say. So Sengoku here is a little bit not concerned, but he just wants to leave things clear, and he says, well, you are not going to leave, no? You are not going to just leave the Marines. And Garp is saying, no, that he can't leave the Marines because he has a lot of people to protect, like they are in the bottom of the pit, let's say, okay, or in the bottom of this hell. This is something that Sengoku is saying as well, that I can't fix the things from down here, that I'm nobody. I need to go up in ranks to be able to do something. But we know that he's gonna go to become, fleet admiral afterwards. Above him, it's only Kong, and above Kong, we have already the Gorosei and Imu and everything, and they are powerless. This is a realization as well that we see Ineked with Ruchi. Ruchi says like, doesn't matter, like I can't, he wants to do whatever he wants to do, and Kaku and Stusia don't do these things because we don't have orders, and he's just doing whatever he wants, like kind of garbish, like he knows they will say no, they will say something that is not interesting for his intention, so he's just doing whatever he wants. I see a lot of Garp in Ruchi, in my opinion, in my honest opinion, okay? So Garp, we know that he sacrificed himself and his pride to stay with the Marines. It is not a bad move, but it is a move that future generations, like his son, it's not gonna understand. Okay, it's like, why are you not leaving? Why are you not taking action? Because he has a plan that is very difficult, but he wants to try to do the things in his own way. I understand him. I understand Dragon as well, and is tricky. And then we see another moment. We jump into Elbaf, and there is a lot of crying. Obviously, there's a lot of distress from Loki. Loki is in pain. He, like everyone, read the news. He's seen that Rox has been killed. Rox was his Shanks, like let's say it in that way, like for Luffy Shanks, that's Rox for Loki. He's crying and everything. We see the transition, like the flashback is morphing into another flashback. This is something that happens sometimes in One Piece a lot. So we jump into a moment where Rox's face is saying, I don't want you to join because you're a kid, this and that. So remembering him, like just being emotional about him, crying and everything. Very, very emotional moment, to be honest. And it's kind of reminding us that he needed his father. He needed his father, Harald, to join him to fight the enemies and everything. So he's telling him, you are here begging me to join, and who I want to join is your father. I want your father to join me, okay, because I need him, and I will come here, 200 times if I needed to come here. So there is this kind of explanation about Loki thinking that Rox is Nika, basically. Rox is an evolution, a representation of Nika. This is very interesting as well, because you wouldn't have said that, okay? There are now different lines with the Joy Boy concept, with the Davy Jones concept, that they may be in parallel, or they may be the same character at the end of the day, we don't know, but you wouldn't have said that Rox is going to be Nika, okay? He says that basically Rox doesn't want to to destroy anything. He wants to rule. He wants to be the king of the world. Basically, that is what Blackbeard wants to be nowadays as well. And he's telling Loki some information, key information. You know, there are these Galela guys out there that they are monsters able to destroy many things as well. Your father is the only one who can just do this because he is the king, because he is the one who can control them, because he is Oni as well. This is something that, because Harald nowadays is dead, needs to cascade into Loki. Loki now is the key. This is my opinion. Rock said, you know, now I need your father to help me to do this and to do that. You know, but in another generation, Loki is the one that is needed because he has the same lineage, because he has the same particularities, I would say, the same intentions, I would say. Okay, so very interesting. I liked it. Okay, I liked this aspect, this conversation. There is a third flashback within the flashback. There is a tiny image grayed out where someone is talking with Loki about saying, why doesn't Dad want to work with rocks? And there is a third person that we don't know who it is. There's a very tiny silhouette there, telling Loki that it is because of love. I don't know who this may be. I want to think time passed during these two mini flashbacks in the same image, and maybe this is Ida, the mother of Geraldine, and she is smaller than Loki. Loki already is becoming bigger, but later we see both being similar sizes, so it cannot be. So I don't know who this human, it has to be human, is, and it's not rocks. It is not rocks, or maybe it's just an error in the translation. These things happen a lot. In many episodes we have mistakes with the translation, but it is what it is. Okay, I think I'm gonna do this brown because I wanted to do it purple, but the color scheme for Shanks, because the trousers and the Hawaiian aspect of the clothing and everything is brown, so we could just mark some of these lines in brown. That's why I wanted to do the drawing as well in brown. And then I can do purple, this here, like a blanket. Okay, there is no blanket in the image, but why not do like a tiny blanket there, like this. Okay, and as I said at the beginning, I want to add some gold here, like, you know, some yellowish area that, yes, this is gold around. Okay, we don't need to do all the drawing, all the little pieces around. Okay, so again we come back to the present time of the flashback. So we come back in flashbacks, like two flashbacks before, where Loki is still thinking, crying, reading the news in a very tiny newspaper, and be crying. So he developed a trauma here. It may be that some of the things that he's feeling at the moment, being an adult, is because not having support here with this, or not having as much support as he needed, and that is very important as well nowadays with, you know, mental health and everything. But I see that the distress is tremendous in Loki, and I want to see how Oda is gonna address this in the story, and how Luffy needs to save Loki in this aspect. And say, yeah, you know, I'm here for you, I am your nakama, I'm your brother here, I am gonna help you. Luffy does this all the time, basically, and I wanna see how it's gonna be represented with Loki. Okay, so now we jump into some other random stuff. His father, Harald, is in a random kingdom, is kind of kicking someone's face and punching someone, like another giant that has been terrorizing humans, and he's kind of very furious, punching him, like saying, because of you, I'm having all these problems with trying to include us in society, include us in world government and everything, and I am not gonna stop until I'm able to eradicate any kind of bad giant out there. Okay, very justice hero, superhero type of thing. And at the same time he cries in frustration because with regret that he has, very deep regret, and it is entirely his fault, that is his stupidity there. His friend his brother in arms, Rox, begged him, said, look, brother, help me, because they are coming for me. I need you to fight with me to save my family. And he said, no, I need to protect my own family and my own town. And once he said that, I think the character of King Harald for me dropped one level down, because you need to protect your family, yes, but your friends, your brother, you know, your brother in arms, that is your family as well. That is who you are, in the sense of you are a fighter, you are a warrior, you are someone who is not just about your family, is just your wife, your kid, or your people in your town. It is, this guy was your brother, and you were clashing with him, you were enjoying with him and everything, and you let him down. It is your fault, and yeah, you're gonna feel guilty and everything, and it's gonna be normal. In that sense, I don't agree with Harald's decision. He wanted to be a good king, and he wanted to protect his people first, and forget about other problems, but everything is connected and everything comes back, and the problems that Rox was having is the same problems that the Elbaf people is having, because it is discrimination, because races, because legacy, because 900 years ago. All of them are, at Imu's eyes, guilty, and all of them should be eradicated. So Imu just wants to use them, okay? It's very sad, and very frustrating. He's regretting, shouting that there is no way to turn back what he's done, this denial of help, and he will never forgive the giants, he says, but this is saying, I will never forgive myself for not helping him. This is how I see the sentiment, the feeling in this drawing. All the people is looking at him, they are very shocked, because obviously this is a ginormous giant, not only a normal giant, and it is very important. Then we jump into a dungeon, into a prison in the marine headquarters, okay, where a locked up Dragon is being visited by Garp. Why is Dragon there? Because Dragon, so far in the flashback, he realized, oh my god, what is going on here with my guys, with my people? They are bad. I cannot tolerate this. So when he comes back to the ship, he takes the ship at gun, and he says, I'm gonna kill anyone who is not gonna be saving people, and I'm gonna kill anyone who is not gonna take out of here all these guys. So basically, they need to, afterwards, because he's just a normal man there, take him out. We haven't seen him eating a fruit at all. Everyone expects that he's having a fruit. I expect that he's having a fruit. I expect that during this kind of mess, he has eaten a fruit. I think it's wind related. I don't know what's gonna be at the end, but I hope this is gonna happen like that. But we don't see it yet. We see the frustration when Garp is visiting him, and he shouts at him, I despise you. As well, depending on the translation, it can be one thing or another, but I despise you. And this is supposed to be the father. I don't think it is the blood father. They are not blood related. I think he is with Garp's daughter. That we haven't seen yet, that it should be as well, with the whole connection with Toritoma and Amazon Lily and everything. I want to believe that, okay? But maybe he joined them because he admired Garp, and that will be quite poetic. He joined them because he admired Garp and become marine, and then he went down into this pit of despair, and now he hates Garp basically. And there's a lot of information here still, that when we see all of this through Dragon's eyes later, when we go into the Revolutionary Army story, whatever they're gonna do in the story, we will see all of those reasons, okay, and on all of these kind of mixed feelings that he may have, because at the end of the day he ends up taking Luffy, and Garp ends up taking Luffy, and you know, not letting or not leaving Dragon with the headache of, oh yeah, you know, the Luffy thing. I'm just gonna take him myself and just give it to Dadan or something. But yeah, so there is a lot of things there still that need to be revealed. I can't wait, and I am enjoying it, like Akita said at the beginning, and it is very, very nice. So Harald is deciding that he's not gonna care anymore in another part of the world, in Elbaf. He's saying that he's gonna basically take some action. I wasn't expecting this. I thought, seeing what happens, I thought, now King Harald is gonna be bad, or he's gonna be pirate, and he's gonna by force try to do whatever he wants. But no, he first says goodbye to the sons and say, yeah, I love you both the same, just be brothers, okay? Be brothers. He knows he may die here. That's why the farewell. And he flies with his ship down, and he gets out of Elbaf to go to a marine headquarters. By being there, he kneels, he begs, he rips off his horns. This is a declaration of pride. He is putting aside his pride, his bloodline from Elbaf, trying to break legacy, saying, I am not this monster, I want to be part of you, and I am gonna atone for our sins. I'm gonna be the punching bag, let's say, the sacrifice for my people, and just do with me whatever you want. Just I could be even your slave. And then we finish the scene with Imu's eyes, meaning, yes, I am gonna use you as much as I can. What are the repercussions of this moment? The repercussions of this moment is what I said 1,000 times here in the channel, that we need to see a King Harald dummy reverse it. We need to see how now, going forward, maybe we don't see it in a screen, but they show it as a newspaper, as a news, as a moment. We need to see how he is dummy reverse it, and how he is not able to control himself, and at some point, when we are in the present, well, not in the present, but in the time that Loki is gonna kill him, supposedly, and then we will see how he needs to beg, like his brother Rox begged a couple of years ago, that is in the flashback, to Garp and Roger, please kill me. So we start the episode with this action, with this resolution of these three guys saying, yeah, we actually, yes, need to kill him. And we finish the episode with King Harald. King Harald has been killed in mysterious situation by Loki. Yes, that is the one who is telling us this story. So it is giving us context. So Jarundin is saying, before we have all this flashback, Jarundin says, okay, I'm gonna sit here, just tell me everything, tell me why did you do what you did. And then by giving the context, by Rox crying, please Garp, please Roger, just kill me, so I can avoid killing everyone here, We are gonna see the same here. So this is for Jarundin in real time to understand why Loki has done what he has done. So do you know what he said? This is what happened to me as well. Father asked me to do this. Obviously, it was only him and Jarul. I think Jarul was as well in the pot, corrupted. I can't imagine a man like Jarul not being bad, to be honest. The character design, the decisions that he's been done, the behavior towards baby or kid, big mom, I cannot process at the moment a guy like that being good. So I'm gonna put the theory here I have about Jarul as well, but keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him, because the flashback is finishing, let's say, in a few episodes tops, and we are gonna be struggling, and maybe he, like similar to Treble in the Rosa, maybe he is that type of guy, like quite disgusting. And I think once we are able to kick out of Elbaf, Summers, Kunko, and the rest of the guys, our problem there is this old fart. I'm telling you this already, okay? Check that theory and you will understand the full picture, you will understand the full reason of that to be, but that is gonna be crazy. So I think it is a very determined end of a chapter, while he's ripping out his horns and shouting, no pain in his face, like determination. and this is his innocence, you know, and how his innocence is gonna lead to manipulation, how the bad guy Imu is gonna take control of him, of his body, to cause bad, to put the Vikings, these Viking giants in a bad situation again, and tarnish and put dirt in the name of the giants again. So here before he's punching a bad guy giant, saying, I am not gonna allow this, but now they are gonna transform him into a bad guy, and it's gonna be very sad. So we need to create this type of connection with rocks like we have done, and now we need to do this as well with Harald before we finish Elbaf, before we finish Loki's story, I would say. Okay, let's do a quick pass because we have finished already the episode, we have finished the drawing as well. I just want to do some lines here for the hair so we don't lose the hair here. Let's do, I've been waiting for so long to see actually the chest moment. I have given here in the channel multiple options on how this could happen or could not happen, and I'm so happy to see this moment. I love it. I think it's one of those episodes difficult to understand, and it has a lot of feeling, and I think that is very important for One Piece. I'm looking forward to read in manga, obviously, the whole thing together. When you are reading 1 week after another week and you have to wait and everything, information comes a little bit partitioned, okay, a little bit separated, and we may not see the whole picture. But when you are able to read the whole thing together, you can pick up small details here and there that you say, okay. So Oda, obviously, yes, is drawing week by week, 2 weeks by 2 weeks, yes, but just so you understand this, Oda already has sketches of many things. Oda is not just starting from scratch, you know, today is Monday or today is Sunday, I'm gonna start the new episode. No, he already has maybe some small notebooks with a guideline with what he wants to show in every episode, or what are the key points that he needs to put, okay? Some notes as well with and there's been some videos and some images around the internet as well that you can see his studio, and you can see that he has notebooks with Dressrosa, Punk Hazard, and those are notes and sketches of the whole saga, specific parts of the saga. So we know how he works. So once you are able to have all of the manga together, like all the saga is out already, and you can reread it, we will understand things in a little bit more of context. I cannot wait for that. This flashback is crazy. Now we should be going out of the flashback soon. We are not fading into white, so that means we are still in black background. That means flashback still. We still stay in this flashback a little bit more. Maybe we see a transition as well, like a couple of moments, like we have seen the God Valley, a couple of time after that with Loki, and then now after that even with Harald. So we may be changing slowly, coming to the present. We may do some jumps in time to go to the present, a couple of episodes more to define that. But the final thing regarding God Valley through Garp. I'm gonna put here the Garp theory, okay, if it is still, I can still put a tag there. Garp is currently with Blackbeard. He's been taken. Garp is the living legend, let's say, that is gonna be able to tell the story. Obviously not gonna tell the story to the bad guys, but the memo is there with Pudding. She can just extract the memories. She can be forced to extract the memories, and all of them may be watching all of this already, like a movie in Hachinosu. Okay, Blackbeard is moving at the same time. Okay, so he already knows some things. He may have already seen everything, and that's why we have these two characters together, Garp and Pudding, because this needs to happen. There is no other reason for these characters to be together. Garp story is over in that sense, and Pudding story, she's not gonna awaken the eye to read poneglyphs, okay? Blackbeard needs to have other options to read poneglyphs, involving Nico Robin as well. But all of these theories, all of these explanations, all of these drawings are in the channel. Feel free to sail around the channel, pick up any video, watch it, and comment on it. Drop me a message and we can talk about the specifics that you may want to discuss, or you may agree or disagree. We can just create a little bit of conversation there. I'm going to be more than happy to do that. So we have drawn Baby Shanks from episode 1166, and yeah, we analyzed the whole episode, talking about God Valley, talking about rocks, talking about Boggy a little bit, talking about Loki, Harold, Shanks, Blackbeard, all of them in general, and having a nice time here, okay? So yeah, please, if you wanna see any kind of request character, your favorite character that is not here in the channel yet, just drop a message and request it. It looks like there is episode next week. There is no to be continued or break or anything like that on the notes. So that is very, very, very good. I need One Piece. I don't know what I'm gonna do when One Piece is over. Probably like I currently do as well. Rewatch it, reread it, talk about theories, draw more characters. Yeah, because I absolutely love it. But yeah. So I'm just gonna be signing here at the bottom. This is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23. You can say it as you want. And this is the Man Dragon's Cave. I hope you enjoyed the drawing and the analysis and the talk today. Feel free to share it with your friends, with your nakamas, with your family, and anyone who may be interested in One Piece manga or drawing as well. And yeah, thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.